we've addressed. I get it. I get it. God bless them. Several things have been occurring in a repetitive manner, and I have to give credit to Ben as well as the Louisville Metro Police Department in working out opportunities of solution. The reason why I use the word opportunity is there's just not one solution. We have multiple issues occurring, but with repeated coordination, I think that there have been some things slowing down and getting a little bit better, even though we keep having reoccurring challenges. I know in the park, we've had some showers and gropers, and the homeless have been another challenging factor as the weather gets better. So in opening that up, John, how about come up and talk a little bit about, because I know if you all don't realize, John is been pinpoint to work with the business association as well as the businesses in coordinating some of the efforts, especially in dealing with the homeless. So come on up, John.
Thank you very much. This will be brief, I promise. Good morning again, everyone. Let me start, as I always do, by thanking y'all for letting us be involved in this. The coordination and the cooperation and communication is very important. And as you've heard before, a common saying is you all are our eyes and ears, and we need you to help us help you. So, well, since it's the last thing you mentioned, I'll talk about Cherokee Park. We've had numerous reports of nonsense going on in the park, and what Aaron just mentioned, which leads me into what I was going to tell you today anyway. I mentioned a meeting or so back that we were going to start concentrating this summer, not only on the Bardstown Road corridor and keeping it safe and trouble-free as we can. We're starting what's called an impact unit, which is, we used to call them flex units here in the 5th Division, starts next week. And that will be a team of officers at various hours, times of the day and night, doing proactive policing. And by that, I mean going out looking for the problems rather than waiting for the radio to dispatch them. We're going to run this for a couple of months, according to the major. As I said, it'll start next week. It will be uniform and plain clothes. So you may see them, you may not. But the thing in Cherokee Park is the exact thing we'll be targeting. I'm sure we'll send some non-traditional vehicles up there with officers who are plain clothes, maybe even hiding behind the trees, wait for it to happen. I got two. It didn't sound very well, did it? Yes. I've got two different individuals who we have photos of as they flee, who have done some of that stupid stuff up in the park. No one should be living in fear, and we should be able to walk through our parks without worrying about that kind of thing. So we are on it. Let me assure you, we are on it. Major Grissom is anxious to get this going. We've been trying to do it for a while, and our staffing has held us back. But now we feel like we've got that worked out. And between the detectives and the patrol officers who are going to step up and be on these squads, they'll rotate in and out as well. And I'm sure we'll make a difference. Please continue to communicate to us, whether it be text to me, email to me, to the major. Let us know what's going on out there, because we do need you to help us so that we can help you. And again, thank y'all for having me this morning. Hang out afterwards if you have any other questions or anything you want to talk about here in the 5th Division. Okay, thank you all very much.
I know in the triangle, it's so you hear the message, help us. And I have to reiterate, it sounds so simple, but I've had businesses that refuse to communicate with the police department. I mean, it took weeks. And once they did, the problem was resolved. So if you have any communication with people that are hesitant, the first thing to do is criticize. I get it. Nothing's perfect. The second step is, though, what are you going to do about it? And I have had repeatedly success when the business will engage. And that's what it takes. And that's the one thing about the area. We do engage, but we have to help those that are not familiar with getting a positive response. There is a lot of tension building up and down the strip over a couple of our establishments. I get it. I've talked with past managers of that location, tried to find out what's going on. And again, it's a community effort. There's not one single person that can solve the problems that we have. Ben, you are a communicator. How about coming up and sharing some of those glorious moments of yours, as well as I know bed and breakfast is on the process of the bed and breakfasts. Where's that at?
With the Airbnbs. Okay, I'll add that to the list of things. Yeah. So I just want to also. All right, straight up the nostrils. Good for you guys. Good thing I trimmed them. So I do also just want to echo the continuing message. You all are our eyes and ears. A lot of issues that come to us, we can direct resolution. One of the really interesting pieces about knocking so many doors on the campaign trail is that, we got to hear from people who don't know how to report things and were able to just tell us. And so everything from sinkholes to flooding to sidewalks that need to be repaired, please let us know so that we can help direct the resources. That includes, we now have additional resources, as Officer Keeling referenced, that we can do really things like towing abandoned cars and other things. So please continue to let us know so at least we can say, hey, we can't solve that. Or here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to touch on a couple of things. We had a community meeting about a month ago to talk about how we prepare for summer as it relates to some of our parks, particularly Big Rock. We had really good traction. Thanks again to LMPD for helping to enforce the parking rules there. That worked really well until Monday. And then Monday was such a beautiful day that it felt like the entire city descended. But we are continuing to work on it with signage, with giving people alternate places to go when the park is too crowded, ticketing a lot when necessary. We issued 200 tickets last summer. I know there were a bunch written this summer. We want to make that a welcoming place for everybody to enjoy. We are continuing to work on it. We're also working with Metro Parks around some structural design changes to make it so that we don't just put signs everywhere, which are not aesthetically pleasing, as we have been informed by many of the neighbors, but put actual giant rocks to block parking and other kinds of things. So just know we're being proactive about there and in other parks. Bardstown Road Corridor, we continue to hear lots of things. I'm going to send out an email to everyone who has written in this morning outlining some of the proactive steps that are being taken by LMPD, by alcohol and beverage control. We're also going to be looking at how do we revise the noise ordinance to be just super clear so that we can have as many tools as possible for institutions that are attracting people who are doing bad behaviors. We strengthened the nuisance ordinance a couple of months ago. We had our first enforcement action not in our area a couple of weeks ago. That worked really well. We're going to continue to pursue those kinds of things. You might have seen that LMPD has purchased and is training officers to leverage drones, particularly to go after drag racers and ATVs in the parks. I will note we are also being very careful to consult with some of the civil rights groups so that those drones are not misused and are really only used in the right ways. But that is coming. Also working closely with Deputy Mayor George around some interesting initiatives around noise. How do we discourage people with illegal, very loud mufflers from blasting down Bardstown Road, also blasting music at all hours? So we've got some stuff in the works there that I hope we'll be able to announce in the next couple of weeks, but we're definitely hearing those things. We're also, I think, doing a lot of investments as a community in providing homeless services in order to help really address the issues that are coming when people don't have a place to go, or we don't have the resources to respond when someone is having a crisis. So we continue to push on that. From my experience walking up and down Bardstown Road, there's a significant difference between last year and this year, and we continue to hope that we are trending in the right direction. Part of that gets into my favorite and final thing, which is it's budget season. This is the executive summary, not the detailed budget. So lots of things in negotiations right now. The way this works is the mayor proposes the budget. Everyone who has an opinion offers that opinion, often quite loudly and by repetitive emails. And then Metro Council circles back, lots of conversations are had, and then there is a final budget that will be voted on June 20th. There are a couple of things in this, in or not in this budget, that are top priority for our office. Number one of which is the Soil and Water Conservation District and the, I'm blanking on the other part of that, Extension Office. Those are top priorities for us. I don't need any more emails to be convinced. I'm convinced. We're working on it. I feel optimistic that that's going to get back in. There are a lot of things around the community of care campus, around our services for those experiencing houselessness. I feel pretty good about some of those. There is a limited amount of money that's going around. We're going to be pushing on our priorities. We'll get many of them, I'm sure. We will not get some, but if there's things in there that you feel like I might not be aware of, it's a lot in there. Please reach out and make your opinions known. They matter. So that's it. I'm happy to take any questions if people have questions. All right, we're working it, gang. I appreciate your help and your engagement.
Thank you, Ben. It's always good to be on the current side of information. And the challenges too. I don't know if you remember last year's budget, but I thought that for a novice, Ben did well. You're being complimented, Ben. You can do it. Yay. All right. Well, up and down the Highlands, you see a lot of things happening in the positive. And so today we have invited Dustin Hensley, who is creating a new concept along Bardstown Road. And again, after a long duration of inactivity, Wash O Rama is coming clean. So come on up, Dustin. Only from you does it matter.
It all comes out in the wash.
It does. Good job. Keep it up. Keep it up.
All right, I didn't really prepare anything today, but I kind of remember my neighborhood association days and kind of what these meetings are like. So I kind of just came here today to answer any concerns that anybody might have or questions they might have about the business. So I got involved in the Wash O Rama property in November of 2016. We had initially planned to do a 5-story hotel, and we finally got that approved in March of 2020, and then COVID happened. So it sat there for a couple more years, and I tried to modify the plans a couple times, and then, gosh, inflation, interest rates, and everything. So kind of got to a point where I just looked at the building that was there, and I said, hey, I'm just going to renovate what's been sitting there this whole time. So we started taking apart what was the old storefront on the property and found a cute little mid-century modern original storefront. I don't know at what date the building was kind of renovated to that point, but just decided to put a bar in it. But I tried to make it a little more creative than just a bar. It's going to have a game yard. And then I've been lucky enough that I'm also still doing a little 8-unit hotel out back. So it's still an interesting project for the Highlands. We've hired some interesting interior designers. I think it's super cute on the outside and inside. I've got a little experience in the bar business. I've kind of learned some lessons, so I don't think you have a lot to worry about. I plan on being a good operator. I've got a good neighborhood background. I understand the concerns everyone has, and I know that concerns change over time, and what everybody wants in the neighborhood kind of evolves over the time. And I think right now bars are kind of a concern for everybody, but I don't think you have anything to worry about with me. Does anyone have any questions about the property? Any concerns anyone has?
What kind of game?
Games that no one can pick up a pool stick and throw at someone. It's kind of like cornhole, it's kind of like beer pong, stuff like that. So just very easy games that we can remove at night, put back, keep it fresh, constantly change things up. Just something simple.
Yeah. What's gonna be the name of
Atomic.
the Atomic?
Yeah, Atomic. I know there's Atomic House of Hair around the corner. There's Hop Atomica, but we're just Atomic. You'll see the sign probably go up this week. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
We have a restaurant concept as well, and what will be your hours, your operating hours?
Well, we will have a 4 AM license, but I think we'll probably open around 5 during the week. That seems to be when people start to get out in the Highlands. On the weekends, I hope to open around noon. I hope to provide some day fun for everybody on the weekends. And it just kind of depends. I mean, Friday and Saturday, we usually in the bar business, you start to wrap up around 3:30, just depending on what's going on. The weekdays might just be, midnight to, I couldn't tell you for sure. I mean, we'll just kind of see how it goes. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday are usually a little more interesting nights. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are just usually slow nights. So. Oh, I don't know. Do you have a question?
Ladies first.
Oh, okay. It's tricky. When are we going to open? I hope to get my certificate of occupancy Thursday of this week. And I've got health department scheduled for Friday. And then we'll set up ABC, and that's probably a couple of weeks after that. So maybe end of June, but definitely I would think in July. Yep. Anybody else? Any questions? All right. Yeah, if y'all ever need me, I'll be around. I'm an open book. So if anybody ever needs anything business wise, has any concerns, just give me a call. Okay, cool.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Well, we know that is a challenge more than very few people face, and that is getting that first day, the door open. So look forward to it. Please let us know. We'll be happy to let the community know when your opening times, when the big day is.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right. Yes, darling.
Restaurant with these cafes,
Yes.
It's been empty this year.
All right. The person that bought that property, they've been approached by Neat Bar repeatedly. They're holding it. They refuse to lease it out. That's what I know. But they've been asked repeatedly, can we lease it? And they say no. They're just holding the building. I don't get it either. But I talked to Neat Bar and they keep every couple months. You sure you don't want to do something? Because they've got a master plan down there that could incorporate the property. Yeah. But inquiring minds want to know. And speaking of Cherokee Triangle, speaking of weekend activities, come on up here and tell us a little bit about it. Oh, yes. Yes. Except our screen will not show your nostrils.
I really have one word to say about the art fair. It was superlative. We did so well. Right, Larry? There's my buddy. He's on the board with me. We did great, didn't we, Larry?
We did. It was an awesome weekend.
Yeah.
Those of you that missed it, put it on your calendar for next year, the week before the.
Always. And it's over 50 years in progress. It started out, as many of you know, as a little plant exchange. I'll give you 2 begonias for a marigold, that sort of thing. And then it grew over the years and obviously became what it is today. So it was lovely. We did quite well financially. We did quite well with our neighbors. Everybody sang and danced together.
Keep your voice, Ann.
Can't you hear me, Troy? Okay. Everybody did very well together. Everybody played well together. And it was just, I don't know what else to say other than thank you to the community for helping us, for promoting for us, for working with us. It was just lovely. So yeah, I think this was our 52nd art fair. So it's been around a long time. And if we haven't got it right now, we never will. But we certainly did last time. Dee?
Yes, do you want to share what some of the money
Yeah, we always try to give, right, we try to give money back. This is the time to do it, you know, for what much is given, you got to give it back. So it's like the ocean. And so we've got a group that we're working on the places in our community that could use a spot of cash. Right, Larry?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So we haven't got all that done yet, but that will happen. We actually are going into a new time period with new board members. We will have 4 or 5 new board members because we do have term limits on our Cherokee Triangle Association. And there's probably, I know I can, looking at a couple of people in here that have already been on the board that live in the Triangle. It's a great experience. It really is. Anyone have any questions?
The weekend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll mention that too. Okay, yeah, talk about the music coming up. We got a series of concerts, and that's another thing that the art fair pays for, because it's expensive to hire live local music. We try to get everybody that lives, you know, in this arm's length sort of, you know, the different genres of music. If you want to go on any of the socials or even CherokeeTriangle.org, you can see the whole schedule that will go through summer. Our first band will happen this Sunday, if it doesn't rain, and it will be Appalachian. Who's heard Appalachian before?
Great,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
great.
they are a combination of Appalachian and Latino music, and they're lovely. They're all local boys and girls that are involved in that. So, but if you look on your schedule, you can get one, put it on your fridge or your side of your car or wherever, and do join us because it is fun. We also do take contributions for Highland Community Ministries, for Troy, who fussed at my voice. We do take Highland Community Ministry donations of food, hygiene products, and things like that, where people show up and they want to bring a little something, and that's what they do. And we have a lovely man called Robert who collects it in his car and takes it over to HCM the following week. So, all right, any more questions? Thank you all. How many of you came, honestly, to the art fair? Yeah. It was lovely. It's superlative. Thank you.
Thank you. The schedule is, if you look at our publication, what we put out in our emails, we did include the schedule of the bands. And then Troy, Ann mentioned a very good thing. What are you short of right now?
Cash.
Okay, after cash.
So we always need shelf staple goods like soups, pasta sauce, pasta. So in the summer, we do a summer food drive with our congregations, but we always depend on the community. So our food pantry is open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're a food distribution center for dairy care. We pick up from Kroger and Value Market and some other local retailers. But our hours are when we have volunteers and staff that are able, willing, and ready to bring donations. So if you have donations to drop off, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are the best times. If you can't do it during those times, you can reach out to me. My phone number is on the website and email for Highlands Community Ministries. We'll set up the time to make sure somebody can bring in donations. But we always need those things like pasta, canned tuna, canned chicken, things that are shelf stable that have protein and are also something that can last a few days. And don't bring in corn or beans. The USDA provides plenty of that. And so think of things that you like to eat, and that's what you should bring to the food bank.
Thank you, Troy. Well, many things we talk about in the Highlands is about our resiliency, our ability to come back and maintain and be reborn into something a little different each time a new business comes along the way. Well, I don't know how many people think about Kelli, but Kelli's been a long time. I mean, this goes back to the very beginning of Bardstown Road Aglow and the Highlands Commerce Guild itself. A longtime member, past president, and an entrepreneur who has proven her shall we say, her chutzpah is runneth over. Kelli, come up and give us a little bit of what's been going on in your world.
Well, I sat down last week and kind of wrote down kind of like a timeline, and boy, did it make me feel old. So I'm going to start. And anyway, I'm Kelli Milligan. I was born in Germantown, so I haven't left a lot. My parents got divorced and had to move out to South End, but the second I could get back, I went to Bellarmine, lived there, and then didn't leave. So we lived in Clifton for a while, and I started my business. So the Highland Commerce Guild in this area has been a big part of my life since 1983, the year I got married. I graduated from Bellarmine in 1980 with a BFA, graduated from Sullivan's Interior Design Institute with a degree in interior design. I also was hired to teach there, and I taught there till 2000. They needed me to teach art. Then they asked me to teach this and teach that and teach. So although he kept me part-time to keep the salary low, I taught like 12 different classes off and on, all along while starting my business. And I needed that teaching money because starting a new business, had a fewer clients, I had to have something to come on with. So I did that till 2000. Went to work for the Strassel Company. Strassel Company was a very old interior design company in Louisville. It was in the on the outskirts of what Bittner's was. They had very elite. They had our own plane. We did houses in Japan and flew all over the world. And so I thought, oh, cool. My father-in-law was the furniture maker for the Strassel Company. So of course that got me in, and I got to do a little junior designer there. So, and that's located on Hamilton Avenue. Hamilton Avenue is literally a half a block off of Baxter Avenue. So if you take Lexington Road and don't make the curve and go straight to a dead end, that's Hamilton Avenue. And that's where the Strassel Company was. They closed, and a few designers and I and a bookkeeper started Renaissance because they were going bankrupt, third generation of ownership, and we had clients that needed jobs completed. So we quickly incorporated, started Renaissance so we can continue on. In 85, I rented 907 Baxter Avenue. It's now Prophecy Inc., I think is the name of it. It's really quite interesting because life comes full circle, especially in the Highlands. When I rented 907, it was called Southern Demographics, which was a tattoo parlor. And the only reason I knew that because their mail was quite interesting. A lot of naked ladies with a bunch of tatted men. So it came in brown paper wrappers. It was sort of scary. I purchased Renaissance in 1985. We were there for 10 years. I joined the Highland Commerce Guild and worked on their brand new event called Bardstown Road Aglow. In 1985 or 84, it was their second year. So a lady named Rosemary Bailey is who actually started it with her little Pineapple Press newsletter. And that's how it started. And she kind of handed it over to a friend of mine who is also Steve Lee, who is also a past president. He used to own the Cookbook Cottage, which is now the Joy Luck Club. So I was a president of Highland Commerce Guild for about a little over 10 years and chairman for a few more over that. At the end of 10 years, I purchased 544 Baxter Avenue for Renaissance. And the second floor was going to be called my husband's office because both of our rents was cheaper than a mortgage. So we did that. We renovated it. It was Jim Goodwin, if you remember Jim Goodwin. We were his virgin sale. We were his very first real estate sale. So that was quite fun. Also was able to get a low interest loan back then by the Louisville economic development. I don't even know if that's still going on or not, but Carol Hensley helped us with that. So that was cool. And a couple of years, we did a 2-story addition to the building. We renovated it, added our gazebo, which Kenny and I celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary and renewed our vows under that same gazebo. So on the street's been very important to me. It was a great party. Renaissance joined forces with Steve of the Cookbook Cottage. He's an auctioneer and avid antique dealer. And we started MLS estate sales along with Renaissance interior design. We do tag sales, live auctions, and any kind of little auctions or sales for interior design, and we help with clean out for that part. In 2012, Renaissance became MLS Estate Sales, Milligan, Lee, and Smith. My friend Corinne Smith joined us. It was as the time went along, I was getting tired of interior design. Internet was kind of messing up a lot of things. And so I pushed forward with the MLS thing. We also, in 2014, Steve and I became personal property appraisers to help further our interest with that. I joined the Bellarmine Women's Council doing several interior design show houses, also became their first 4-year president of the Bellarmine Women's Council, and then COVID hit. So a client of mine called and said, Kelly, would you come teach art for me? And since I was sitting there doing nothing during COVID, I said, sure. So I teach TBIs, which is traumatic brain injury clients, for capacity care. And now I teach Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, being an adult day trainer. I'm an ADT now. So I kept the Fridays and Saturdays open so I could still run my shop. So doing this for over 30 years, I was getting really tired of sitting in a shop on Fridays and Saturdays, you know, waiting for people to come in, which I had decent traffic. A lot of them were out of towners than anything. So it changed the face of retail, and teaching those clients was very rewarding. MLS was doing good with live estates, online auctions, and we sell out of our antique mall booths at Melwood, Consignment Plus, Was a Crazy Daisy, and Fleur de Flea. Life comes full circle. We're now part of the old Strasso company again, because Kitty's father, my husband's father, owned the mill. He was the head designer and furniture maker of the Strasso company. So when Strasso's closed in 1985, he grabbed the building so he can continue supporting his family. So when he passed away and Kenny's mother passed away about 1.5 years ago, we purchased that part. We purchased the wood shop from his estate, so we kept it. So we were able to keep it. So I will be moving into that building, into the old wood shop. I'm going to convert one little corner of it with some heating and air conditioning, because it's a warehouse now, to run our business out of, because I need a place for people to come pick up auction items and to view things that they're bidding on and things like that. So we're going to keep most of it still as a warehouse space. Since I've moved away from having retail stores, Baxter is up for sale. We are currently still doing online auctions, mall booths and stuff, keeping the majority, like I said, for furniture, repair, and things like that in the old shop. A side note, Hamilton Avenue was built in 1902. It's one of the 3 buildings that I found in Kentucky that has a completely poured concrete foundation and ceiling. So I hope it never falls, because it's really, you can see the boards where they used it to bake it. It's really quite interesting. I needed a temporary office while I'm renovating and moving out of Baxter. And guess what? The people across the street that own the old Strasso building, which is Video Bread, told my husband one day when we were working over there, you know, we've got a small office for rent if you know of anybody for it. Well, guess what? I rented it. So it's really kind of cool. So I'm working across the street, waiting to move in across the street. The only thing I wish is that old building was my old interior design office that I used to have when I was at Strasso's, because they had a really pretty window and the one I'm at doesn't. We're hoping to be finished and move into the renovation sometime in late fall, but things, it might be next year, who knows? We're also thinking of expanding our services to simple fixes. We're still working on that. It's a little side job of doing like handyman stuff, and I repair paintings and ceramics and stuff like that. So that's the simple fixes aspect of it. We will post all auctions. If you are interested in anything I do or want to keep up with me for any reason, just follow us on Renaissance by Design on Facebook. We post all our sales, everything that we're doing on that website. Last note, we'll be cleaning out the wood shop. There is at least 500 pieces of furniture that needs some sort of love and repair. So we're going to have a picker sale. And if you don't know what a picker sale is, nothing is priced. You pick it, I price it, you walk out with it. So, chairs will be like $5 and $10 and things like that. We got to get rid of it so I can move in. And so, like I said, just like us on Facebook. And finally, I put cards on the table of all 3 of my hats that I have. If you're interested, you can take a card. I just want to thank you for your attention and for keeping the Highland Commerce Guild such a valuable organization. Thank you.
Kelly, thank you for being here. I know that the challenges of change have never are easy, but challenge, change, survival, and prosperity, I think you represent well. So thank you for being here and your service. I don't think people realize the number of years that you helped this organization continue on, especially every year. I hear it. I hear you. Well, I know that I'm sure not a person here came thinking today is your lucky day. Well, I got news for you. We've got about 10 of our drawing. I have to thank Tar for adding 3 cards to the drawing. But today, Nick tells me speed it up. So on to the drawing.
Good morning to everyone. Before we start with the drawing, I'd like to do just kind of a quick update of businesses that are kind of in the process of opening. And Atomic is very much looking forward to Atomic. It's going to be a great addition to the Highlands to finally get that space filled and utilized. But also, just real quickly, some other things that are in the works. Some of you may have heard about the Louisville Pastry Shop, which is on Bardstown Road right there at Midland. That is going to be opening probably, he estimated about June the 1st, thereabouts. So it's going to be a great addition as far as the pastries to the Highlands. Also, at 1553 Bardstown Road is Weed It Pizza. That's a couple of 2 brothers actually out of Boston. No, I'm sorry, Brooklyn, that are going to open a new variation of pizza that varies on so Weed It Pizza, another pizza shop. It's Weed It, WHEATED, Weed It Pizza. It is close to that Georgia sweet potato pie company, just 2 houses down from that. 1553 Bardstown Road, for those who know the numbers. Another business, which I'm sure most of you have heard about, is Dundee Tavern is going to become Derby City Pizza. So that is in the process of opening as well. They've probably got several more weeks to go. And one final one is Ethos Gallery. That's down at the Douglas Loop. That's a great addition. I've been in there. They are in the process of opening. They also have a lower level, a basement that's going to be gallery space as well. So that will be coming shortly. So to get to the main drawing today, Kawaii Ramen restaurant has recently opened. I think it's about maybe 3 weeks now. That was a long time coming as well. They worked forever for that. So it seems like 6 or 8 months before they were finally able to make all of the renovations. But one of the owners of that, Guy Tran, is out of town today, so he's not able to make it. But they have contributed a $25 gift card to Kawaii Ramen. So Aaron, if you want to draw a number out, number 1 is Mark Thompson.
Hey, you pulled this off now, the hand.
Oh, no. All right, well, keep thinking about it. Now watch me put my number. He said I'll have to find it. Number, well, I got 2 of them. The first one is 5.
All right. Number 5.
Now, and what this is, a bowl, ABOL coffee and eatery has generously contributed 3 gift cards for $15 each. So we'll have 3 of these total, Aaron. Number 5 is Ray Brundage.
Number 18.
Number 18 is Beth Nahinsky.
Lucky seven, who's number seven?
That is, let's see, that is Vince O'Neill.
Yes. There's the bird. Yeah, lively number six.
Number 6 is Troy. Troy with Highland Community Ministries. And Kelli Milligan has generously donated 2 $10 gift certificates to Highland Cleaner, so we have one more of those there.
Number 15.
15 is Deanna O'Daniel.
Number 13, see, there is luck.
Number 13 is Dustin. And this is compliments of LMPD. And I don't know if you have any kind of firearm, but if you don't, you can pass this along to someone. But this is a trigger lock, yes. So anyway, that concludes our process for today. And thank you and have a great day.
Yeah, that's.